Hi, I'm Tisa Fontaine-Hill, and welcome to Introductory Webinar on Healthy Children, Healthy Families, Parents Making a Difference. Healthy Children, Healthy Families, or HCHF, is all about supporting healthy habits among children. Think for a moment about what being healthy means for you and your family. As a result of participating in today's webinar, the Introduction to HCHF, you will have evaluated how socio-ecological model applies to the lives of participants, examined the HCHF model, gained an understanding of the unique nature of the HCHF curriculum, identified the major components of HCHF, examined the special language and phrases used in HCHF, and become familiar with the sequential nature of HCHF. HCHF is a curriculum that connects with an important goal: to prevent unhealthy weight gain and to promote healthy eating and activity habits among low-income children through dialogue and collaborative action with parents and other influential adults who shape the environments where children live, learn, and play. As we explore this curriculum, we will see how parents can think of not just about personal and household decisions, but also account for environments beyond the home, like school and other agencies and the broader community. Being healthy is something that depends not just on personal decisions, but also on the environments where we live, learn, and play. The socio-ecological model is a way of showing the environments that influence how children eat and what physical activity they engage in. Let's look at how this applies to children. On the screen, you will see 4 concentric circles. We're going to use this model to talk through some of the ways we might support a child when choosing to try new vegetables or to eat more vegetables. Notice that each color of the circle represents a different environment. The environments become larger as the circles become larger. In the center of the circle is a child whose behavior we're trying to shape. The first environment is the home, where parents and caregivers can influence what's available for the child to eat. Parents might do this by serving 2 vegetables for dinner and keeping ready-to-eat vegetables in the fridge for snacks, while limiting other less healthy foods such as sweet or salty snacks. The next environment is the school. In school, vegetables can be served for snacks, and more vegetables can be served through the changes that are occurring in the school lunch programs. The final environment is the community. In the community, access to farmers markets are important, and so is offering vegetables on children's menus in restaurants. What are some other opportunities that there are to influence a child to eat more vegetables at home, at school, or in the community? This slide describes influences on physical activity. Some examples are provided for home, school, and community environments. What other opportunities are there for each level of environment to influence a child to be more active? The socio-ecological model, as shown here and on the previous slide, includes all levels of an environment that affect how a person in the center makes choices. The Healthy Children, Healthy Families, Parents Making a Difference curriculum, which is aimed at parents and caregivers of children ages 3 to 11, and is the focus of this training, is depicted in the following graph. This graph shows how HCHF workshops can influence parents and caregivers to bring about changes in the environments where children live, learn, and play. As you follow the arrow from parents to children, you will see that parenting practices and changes in the home environment can influence children's eating and active play. If you follow the arrow from agencies to children, you will see that agencies such as schools or daycares can change what they do, or their policies or procedures to help children make healthy choices. HCHF also introduces the idea that parents can be involved in working towards changes in these environments outside of the home that influence children's choices. This is what HCHF is about, teaching parents parenting practices and skills and working with other adults who influence children. When you get a new curriculum to use in your county, how do you become familiar with it so that you're comfortable using it when you teach? Think about the steps you go through and how you engage in a new curriculum. Now let's talk about the HCHF curriculum itself, what makes up the curriculum, and some of the parts that will help you understand how it is structured. First, we need to look at two critical HCHF components that organize the content into healthy behaviors and parenting practices. These are the paths to success, or the healthy nutrition and activity behaviors, and the keys to success, firm and responsive parenting practices. Look on the front of your curriculum and you will see the graphic for the paths to success. The paths to success are healthy nutrition and active play behaviors. Guidance is provided for parents and caregivers. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the paths to success. Guidance is provided for parents in the HCHF sessions to foster healthy behaviors in their children. We call these the paths to success. They are drinking water or milk instead of sweetened drinks, eating more vegetables and fruit, playing actively, eating fewer high-fat and high-sugar foods, limiting TV and computer time, and having sensible servings. Now look at the back of your curriculum and you will see the graphic for the keys to success. The keys to success are examples of firm and responsive parenting, which is the basis of all parenting practices in HCHF. Guidance is provided to help parents understand and adopt practices that will help their children along the path to healthy eating and active play. The keys have several parts: a name, a description, and then a list of parenting practices. We will explore the keys in more detail later in a later task, but for now, let's look at the key names and the brief description of each of the 4 keys. The first is showing, or teaching by example. This is about being a role model. Children will do what they see their parents or caregivers do. Next is supporting, helping children feel good about themselves. Children respond best to positive, encouraging messages. Guiding, offering choices within limits. It is a parent's responsibility to offer children choices, and it is the child's responsibility to decide what they would like from the choices offered. And finally, shaping, or making healthy choices easier. This is about providing an environment that makes it easy to make healthy choices. Now let's look at the curriculum itself. HCHF is comprised of 8 1.5-hour sessions. Each session includes a healthy nutrition behavior, 1 or more parenting practices, an active play break, a food preparation or food tasting activity, and a take a healthy step goal setting activity at the end of each session. Now we're going to go and take an introductory look through the curriculum itself. Turn to session 1, which is behind tab 1, and look at page 1.1 entitled Focus of Session 1. A page like this occurs at the beginning of each session. You will see the path or paths to success that is the healthy nutrition behavior, along with other relevant concepts that are covered in this particular session. Next, you will see the key or keys, that is the parenting concepts that are covered. Note that session 1 introduces the concept of applying parenting skills to help children eat and play in healthy ways. The session then covers firm and responsive parenting and introduces the first parenting practice, which is encourage. Encourage is one of the practices related to the key, supporting. Below that, you will see a food tasting activity. These food tastings are a critical piece of the session as they provide a food experience that is both directly tied to the healthy behavior being taught in that session and gives parents examples of healthy foods that can be easily incorporated into family routines. Finally, you will see the active play break. This is not just a break. It provides a break within the hour-and-a-half session, but it also is critical to the content as it provides an example that parents can use with their children to encourage active play. Now turn to session 2, which is under tab 2. On page 2.1, you will again see the focus of the session page. On the next page, you will see more detail outlined about what is available for each session. Here you will see the session broken down into tasks with activities to be used to teach parents the paths and keys covered in session 2. Approximate times are allotted for each task, and the materials you will need are outlined here. Pages 2.3 to 2.10 give background information for you to give you background on the concepts that are covered in the session and help you prepare to facilitate participants' learning. There are many answers here to questions that participants may ask. The session itself begins on page 2-11. We will talk more about the pieces and parts of each session as we are together. The one thing I want to point out now is that the last activity of each session is called Take a Healthy Step, where participants set a personal goal to pursue in the coming week. Progress is revisited in the beginning of each session. Goal setting is a critical component that has been shown in many research projects to facilitate behavior change. You will find the Take a Healthy Step for session 2 on page 2-31. HCHF is written so that the information learned in each session builds on the information presented in the previous session. So session 2 builds on information from session 1 and adds additional content. This design allows people to practice what they have learned while learning new information. In addition, each task within a session is written in a specific order. It is important to deliver each session as written, as well as deliver the session in order. By doing so, you will ensure participants are mastering the information and the material. Now, find a partner or work on your own to explore the curriculum. Pay attention to the focus of the session and at-a-glance pages to see how the paths to success and keys to success are covered in each session. Use the chart provided that looks like this slide to explore each of the sessions. Notice that sessions 1 and 2 have been completed as examples. Using the curriculum notebook, explore each session and look for the information needed to complete sessions 3 through 8 on the chart. When everyone has finished, we will review the completed chart. Please pause your webinar here and continue when you're ready to go on to the next page, which is the completed chart. Let's review the different components that make up HCHF. Remember that each session also includes a Take a Healthy Step activity in which participants set goals for the coming week. This slide lays out a few important points about delivering HCHF. First, it is important that it is delivered as written. As you work with the curriculum, you will see how the paths and keys are interwoven. This makes it stronger learning experience for participants, and it also requires that you follow the curriculum carefully in order for the threads to weave together. Second, the session needs to be presented in order. As you prepare and use the curriculum, you will discover that each session builds on the previous one. It is not a curriculum that can be taught successfully with sessions out of order. Finally, parenting is more challenging to teach than nutrition. Parents can feel defensive about their current parenting and in some cases feel vulnerable in relation to a given parenting practice. We have written HCHF to take this into account. Those parenting practices that are easiest and safest for parents to understand and talk about come earlier in the series. Those that are more likely to be difficult come later. This is another reason that it is important to deliver the curriculum as written, including the following the order in which the sessions appear. During the course of this training, we will dig deeper into the paths and keys to become more familiar with what they are and how they're used. Look at the paths and keys posters. What paths or keys to success do you use in your own life? What is one path or key you'd like to try at home? Think about your responses and be prepared to share those when we come together for the training. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to hearing about your successes and challenges and your work with participants as you engage in HCHF. Congratulations and enjoy your training. Take care. Bye-bye.